The envelope lands on the table between them. Mara Delane stares at it. Manila. Unmarked. Thick. Her shift ends in 20 minutes. Her feet are killing her. She's been carrying overpriced bottles of vodka to rich men in dark suits for the past 6 hours, and all she wants is to go home, check on her brother, and sleep for 4 hours before her morning shift at the diner. She does not want to be sitting in a private booth with a stranger who looks at her like he already owns her. "Open it," he says. His voice is quiet, deep, the kind of voice that doesn't need to be loud to make you listen. Mara glances at the curtain behind her. The club is busy tonight. No one saw her sit down. No one will notice if she stands up and walks away. But Victor, her manager, made it very clear when she started working here. If a client in the violet room asks you to stay, you stay. No questions, no excuses. So she stays. She picks up the envelope. It's heavier than it should be. Inside, there, are 3 checks, printed on expensive paper. The kind banks don't hand out to just anyone. $50,000, $50,000, $50,000. Mara's heart stops. "That's $150,000, the man says. He's watching her, pale blue eyes, the kind of blue that doesn't feel human. Your brother's hospital bills are $73,000. Your rent is $8,000 past due. The rest will keep you alive for 6 months. Maybe longer if you're smart." The air goes out of her lungs. She looks up at him. Really looks at him. He's maybe 35. Dark hair, cut short, clean shaven. The suit he's wearing probably costs more than her car. His hands are resting on the table, fingers laced together, and there's a thick platinum ring on his right hand, engraved with words she can't read. "Who are you?" she whispers. "Armand Sokol." The name means nothing to her. He seems to expect that. He doesn't repeat it, doesn't explain. He just sits there, still as stone, waiting. Mara shoves the envelope back across the table. Her hands are shaking. "I don't know what this is, but I'm not interested." "You will be." He slides it back to her. This time, there's something else on top. A business card? Heavy, expensive, an address in Westchester County, and below it, one sentence in small black letters. "In exchange, you will marry me in 72 hours. Mara laughs. It comes out sharp, a little wild. "You're crazy." "No." He leans back. His expression doesn't change. "I'm serious." She stands up, fast. The booth spins for a second, but she grabs the edge of the table. "I'm leaving." "Sit down, Miss Delane." She freezes. He knows her name. "How do you—" "Sit down." It's not loud, it's not angry. But something in his voice makes her legs stop working. She sinks back into the seat, and she hates herself for it. Armand watches her. His face is calm, empty. Like this is a business meeting, and she's a contract he's reviewing. "You work 3 jobs?" he says. "You sleep 4 hours a night. Your brother Ethan is 12. He has cystic fibrosis. The treatment he needs costs more than you'll ever make. Your landlord is evicting you in 2 weeks. You have $600 in your bank account and $17,000 in debt." Every word is a knife. Mara's throat is tight. "You have no right." "I have every right." He tilts his head, just a little. "You're drowning, Miss Delane. I'm offering you a way out." "By marrying you?" "Yes." "That's insane." "That's the deal." She stares at him, at this stranger with ice blue eyes and a voice like gravel. "Why?" "Why me?" For the first time, something moves behind his eyes. Just a flicker. Something dark. Something that might be pain. "Because you're exactly what I need," he says quietly. It's not an answer. Mara stands again. This time she grabs her tray. Her pulse is hammering in her ears. "I'm not doing this." He doesn't stop her. But as she reaches the curtain, His voice cuts through the air like a blade. 72 hours, Miss Delane. After that, the offer disappears. And so does your brother's chance at a real life. She doesn't turn around. She pushes through the curtain and walks back into the noise and the lights and the crowd of people who have no idea what just happened. Her hands don't stop shaking for the rest of the night. When Mara gets home, it's past 2 in the morning. Her apartment is a studio in Queens, 4th floor. No elevator. The heat doesn't work half the time, and the guy next door plays music until 3 a.m. Most nights. But it's hers. Or it was. Until the eviction notice. She drops her keys on the counter and sinks onto the couch. Her phone is in her hand before she realizes what she's doing. She types his name into Google. Armand Sokol. The results are thin. A couple mentions in business articles, something about imports, a few shell companies, and then, halfway down, the page, an image. She clicks it. It's from a charity event 5 years ago. Black tie. A ballroom full of people in expensive clothes holding champagne glasses. Armand is standing near the center. Tuxedo. Same cold expression. And next to him, smiling at the camera, is a woman. The caption says, Armand Sokol and fiancée Katya Orlov at the Winter Foundation Gala. Mara stares at the screen. At the woman. Dark hair, pale skin, high cheekbones, brown eyes. She looks exactly like Mara. Not similar. Not close. Exactly. Mara's stomach twists. She types the woman's name, Katya Orlov. The first result is an obituary. Katya Orlov, 26, shot and killed outside Manhattan restaurant. No arrests made. 2 years ago. Mara slams the laptop shut. Her breath is coming too fast. Her hands are cold. She pulls out the business card, stares at the address, and then her phone buzzes. A text. Unknown number. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. Don't be late. She should block the number. She should throw the card away. Instead, she opens her messages and scrolls to her brother's nurse. The last text is from this afternoon. Ethan's asking for you. Hard time breathing today. Doctors want to talk about next steps. Next steps. That's code for more money you don't have. Mara closes her eyes. She thinks about Ethan. 12 years old. Too skinny. Always tired. The way he smiles when she brings him books from the library because they can't afford new ones. She thinks about the eviction notice, the hospital bills, the credit card companies that call her every day. She thinks about the checks in the envelope, $150,000. She thinks about the dead woman who has her face. And she makes a choice. The next evening, a black car pulls up outside her building at exactly 5:30 p.m. Mara is waiting on the curb. She's wearing the only dress she owns that isn't a work uniform. A simple cream-colored thing she bought at a department store 3 years ago for a job interview. It doesn't fit quite right anymore. Too loose in some places, too tight in others. She didn't sleep last night. The driver doesn't get out. He just unlocks the doors. She climbs into the back seat. The interior smells like leather and something else. Something expensive. The seats are soft. The windows are tinted so dark she can barely see outside. They drive north. Out of the city, past the suburbs. 40 minutes later, they turn onto a private road. The estate is huge. Stone walls, wrought iron gates, cameras on every corner. The car stops in front of a house that looks more like a fortress. 3 stories. Dark stone. Windows that reflect the sky like mirrors. The driver opens her door. This way, he says. Mara follows him inside. The entry hall is massive. Marble floors. A chandelier that probably costs more than she's made in her entire life. The air smells like old wood and candle wax. A woman is waiting for her. Older. 50s. Maybe. Sharp eyes. Gray hair pulled back in a tight bun. Miss Delane, the woman says. No smile. I'm Irina. I manage the house. Come with me. Mara follows her down a long hallway. Their footsteps echo. They stop in front of a set of double doors. Irina opens them. Inside is a library, floor-to-ceiling shelves, a marble fireplace, candles burning on a table near the window. And standing in the center of the room, hands in his pockets, is Armand Sokol. He's wearing a black suit, white shirt, no tie. He looks at her, just looks, like he's memorizing her. You came? He says. I don't have a choice. Mara's voice is steadier than she feels. You always have a choice. Do I? He doesn't answer. Instead, he nods to someone behind her. Mara turns. There's a man in a gray suit standing near the door. He's holding a folder. This is the officiant, Armand says. The ceremony will take 5 minutes. Mara's heart is pounding. Now. She looks around. At the candles. At the empty room. There's no one here. There doesn't need to be. This is insane. This is the deal. Armand steps closer. Not too close. Just enough that she has to look up to meet his eyes. You can walk out right now, Miss Delane. The car will take you home. But if you stay, you say the words, you sign the papers, and your brother gets the care he needs. You get a roof over your head. You get a life. And what do you get? She asks. His jaw tightens. Just for a second. You. The word hangs in the air between them. Mara should run. She should scream. She should do anything except stand here and agree to marry a man she doesn't know. But she thinks about Ethan, and she stays. The ceremony is exactly 5 minutes. The officiant reads from a script. Armand repeats the words in a low, steady voice. When it's Mara's turn, her voice shakes, but she gets through it. The ring is white gold, one small diamond. It fits perfectly. She doesn't ask how. He knew her size. When the officiant says, "You may kiss the bride," Armand doesn't move. He just looks at her, and then he says, "You're my wife now, Mara. That means you're safe, as long as you follow the rules." What rules? You'll learn. He turns and walks toward the door. Mara stands there, alone, a wife, to a man she met 24 hours ago, to a man who paid off her debts and put a ring on her finger, to a man who looks at her like she's someone else, someone dead. That night, Mara lies awake in a bedroom that's too big, too perfect. Silk sheets, fresh flowers on the dresser, a window that overlooks a garden she can't see in the dark. And on the nightstand, half hidden behind a lamp, is a photograph. She picks it up. It's Katya, smiling, alive, wearing the same ring that's now on Mara's finger. Mara's blood runs cold, and then she hears it. Footsteps, slow, deliberate. They stop outside her door. She holds her breath. A shadow moves under the door. And then, so quiet she almost doesn't hear it. Sleep well, Katya. Armand's voice. The footsteps walk away. Mara sits up in bed, heart hammering. He called her Katya, the dead woman's name. And she realizes, with cold and perfect clarity, that she just married a man who might be more dangerous than anything she's ever known. Mara doesn't sleep. She lies in the dark, staring at the ceiling, listening to the silence of a house that feels more like a tomb. Every time she closes her eyes, she hears it. Sleep well, Katya. His voice, low, rough, like he was talking to someone who wasn't there, someone who's dead. The ring on her finger feels heavier than it should. She twists it around and around, feeling the diamond catch against her skin. She thinks about running, grabbing her bag, walking out the front door, disappearing into the night. But then she thinks about Ethan, about the hospital, about the bills that will crush her if she doesn't play this game. So she stays, and when the sun finally comes up, pale and cold through the tall windows, she gets out of bed and goes to find answers. The dining room is bigger than her entire apartment. Long table, dark wood, 12 chairs, but Only one is occupied. Armand sits at the head of the table, a newspaper in one hand and a cup of coffee in front of him. He's wearing a white shirt, sleeves rolled up to his elbows, no jacket, no tie. He looks up when she walks in. "You're awake," he says. "You called me Katya last night." She doesn't sit down. She stands at the edge of the table, arms crossed, waiting. Armand sets down the newspaper. His expression doesn't change. "A mistake," he says. "It won't happen again." "A mistake." Mara's voice is sharp. "You married me because I look like your dead fiancé, and you call that a mistake?" Something flickers in his eyes. Just for a second. Then it's gone. "Sit down, Mara." "No." He stands up. He moves slowly, deliberately, like he's giving her time to run. She doesn't. He stops in front of her, close enough that she can smell his cologne. Cedar, smoke, something darker underneath. "You want answers," he says quietly. "I understand that. But there are things you're not ready to know. Try me." He studies her face. His eyes move over her features like he's searching for something. "Katya died 2 years ago," he says. "Shot outside a restaurant. No witnesses. No arrests." "I know. I looked it up." "Then you know more than most." "I know I look exactly like her." Mara's heart is pounding, but she keeps her voice steady. "I know you chose me for a reason. I know this isn't just about money." Armand is silent for a long moment. Then he steps back. "Eat breakfast," he says. "We'll talk later." "When?" "When I decide." He walks out of the room before she can say another word. Mara spends the morning exploring the house. It's huge. Too many rooms. Too many hallways. Every door she opens leads to another room full of expensive furniture and cold silence. She finds a library, a study, a room with nothing but a piano covered in white cloth. She doesn't find any answers. Around noon, she meets Sergei. He's waiting for her in the hallway outside the kitchen. Massive, at least 6'5", built like a wall. His head is shaved and there's a scar running down the left side of his neck. "Mrs. Sokol?" he says. His voice is deep. Russian accent. "I am Sergei, head of security." "Mara," she corrects. "Just Mara." He doesn't blink. "Mrs. Sokol, Mr. Sokol asked me to show you the grounds. There are areas you should not go." "Like where?" "The West Wing, the basement, the garage without escort." "Why?" Sergei's expression doesn't change. "Because those are the rules." Mara thinks about arguing, but something in Sergei's eyes tells her it won't work. "Fine," she says. "Show me the rest." The grounds are beautiful. Gardens, fountains, trees that have probably been here for 100 years. But everywhere Mara looks, she sees cameras, hidden in the hedges, mounted on the stone walls, watching. This place isn't a home. It's a prison with pretty flowers. Sergei walks her past a greenhouse, past a guest house, past a garage that looks like it holds more cars than a dealership. And then she sees someone else. A man, younger than Armand, maybe late 20s. He's leaning against a stone bench near the fountain, smoking a cigarette. When he sees Mara, he smiles. It's a warm smile. Friendly. Too friendly. "So, this is the new bride," he says. He drops the cigarette and walks toward her. "Alexei Sokol. I'm Armand's cousin." Mara shakes his hand. His grip is firm but not aggressive. "Mara," she says. "I know." Alexei's smile widens. "Everyone knows. You're all anyone's talking about." "I'm sure." He laughs. "Don't worry. I'm one of the good ones. If you ever need a friend around here, I'm your guy." Sergei clears his throat. "Mr. Alexei, Miss Mara needs to return to the house." "Sergei." Alexei rolls his eyes. Always so serious. Let the woman breathe. He turns back to Mara. Dinner's at 7. I'll save you a seat. God knows Armand won't be any fun. He winks and walks away. Mara watches him go. There's something about him, something that doesn't quite fit. His smile is too easy. His warmth is too quick. She doesn't trust him. That afternoon, Armand leaves for a meeting. Mara watches the black car drive away from her bedroom window. Then she starts searching. She finds his study on the second floor. The door is unlocked. The room is dark. Heavy curtains. A desk made of wood so dark it's almost black. Bookshelves on every wall. The air smells like tobacco and old paper. She moves quickly. Desk drawers locked, bookshelves, just books. But behind the desk, there's a painting. A woman in a red dress, Russian maybe. Old. Mara touches the frame. It moves. Behind it, there's a safe. Her hands are shaking. She shouldn't be doing this. If Armand finds out, she tries a combination. Katya's birthday. She remembered it from the obituary. October 15th, 1995. October 15th, 1995. The safe clicks open. Inside, there's a leather folder. Thick. Heavy. She opens it. Police reports. Crime scene photos. An autopsy report. Katya, Orlov. Cause of death. Gunshot wound. Close range. No witnesses. Case status. Cold. But someone has written notes in the margins. Cyrillic letters. Names. Dates. And at the bottom of the stack, a single page. A list of payments. Names she doesn't recognize. Amounts in the hundreds of thousands. And one name circled in red ink. Armand Sokol. $2.3 million. Unauthorized. Mara's blood goes cold. Alexei. Armand's cousin, the man with the too easy smile. You found it. Mara spins around. Armand is standing in the doorway. He doesn't look angry. He doesn't look surprised. He looks tired. I told you we'd talk later, he says. He walks toward her slowly, takes the folder from her hands, sets it on the desk. You left the door unlocked, Mara says. Her voice is shaking. You wanted me to find this. Yes? Why? He looks at her, and for the first time, she sees something in his eyes that isn't cold, pain. Because you need to understand, he says quietly. What you're walking into, what you're part of now. Then tell me. He picks up one of the photos from the folder. Katya, smiling. Alive? She was killed because I trusted the wrong person. He says, someone inside my own house, someone I grew up with. Alexei. Armand's jaw tightens. I don't have proof. Not yet. The money trail is there, but it's not enough. He's smart. He's careful. So, what am I? Mara asks. Why am I here? He sets the photo down, and then he says the words that change everything. You're bait, Mara. Her stomach drops. What? You look like Katya, exactly like her. When Alexei sees you, he'll panic. He'll make mistakes. He'll slip. Armand's voice is steady, almost gentle. I needed someone who could make him nervous, someone who could remind him of what he did. Mara steps back. You used me. Yes. You married me to catch a killer. Yes. She wants to scream. She wants to hit him. She wants to run out of this house and never look back. But she can't, because he's still looking at her, and his eyes aren't cold anymore. They're broken. I'm sorry, he says. I should have told you before. But you didn't. No. Silence. Mara's hands are shaking. Her whole body is shaking. What happens now? She whispers. Now, Armand says. You decide. You can leave. The money is still yours. Your brother will be taken care of. But if you walk out that door, Alexei will know. He'll disappear, and I'll never prove what he did. And if I stay, then you help me finish this. He steps closer, not touching her, just close enough that she can see the shadows under his eyes. You helped me catch the man who killed the woman I loved. Mara looks at him. At this man who bought her, used her, lied to her. At this man who just admitted everything. You loved her, she says quietly. Yes. And I'm just a copy. Something changes in his face, a crack in the armor. No, he says. You're not her. I knew that the moment I saw you. Then why? Because I had no choice. His voice is rough. And neither did you. That night, Mara lies awake again. But this time, she's not scared. She's thinking about Katya, about Alexei, about the ledger, about Armand's face when he said, I'm sorry. Around midnight, she hears a sound. Paper. Sliding under her door. She gets out of bed, crosses the room, picks up the note. It's typed, block letters, no signature. He's lying. Katya didn't die for him. She died because of him. Ask about the ledger. Mara's heart stops. She walks to the window. And there, at the edge of the garden, she sees a figure, standing in the dark, watching her. Then the clouds shift, moonlight falls, and the figure is gone. Mara looks down at the note in her hand. Someone in this house wants her to know the truth. And someone in this house might want her dead. The note burns a hole in Mara's pocket. She carries it with her all the next day, folded, hidden, a secret she can't share. He's lying. Katya didn't die for him. She died because of him. Ask about the ledger. Someone in this house knows more than they're saying. Someone wants her to dig deeper. The question is, who? Breakfast is quiet. Armand sits at the head of the table again. Same newspaper, same coffee, same silence. But something is different today. He keeps looking at her, quick glances, when he thinks she's not paying attention. His eyes move over her face like he's searching for something, like he's trying to figure her out. Mara pretends not to notice. I need to call my brother, she says. Check on him. Armand sets down his cup. Irina will bring you a phone. Calls are monitored. Monitored? For your safety. Or for yours. He doesn't deny it. Mara pushes back her chair. I'm not a prisoner here. No, Armand says. You're my wife. The word hangs between them. Heavy. Strange. That doesn't mean you own me. He stands up, slowly. He walks around the table until he's standing in front of her. Close. Too close. Everything in this house belongs to me, Mara. His voice is low, soft, dangerous. The walls, the floors, the people. You signed a contract. You took my ring. You are mine. Her heart is pounding. But she doesn't step back. I'm here because I chose to be, she says. I can choose to leave. Can you? She doesn't answer, because they both know the truth. She can't leave. Not yet. Not until she understands what she's part of. Armand studies her for a long moment. Then something shifts in his expression. The hardness fades. Just a little. Your brother is stable, he says quietly. I spoke to his doctors this morning. They're moving him to a private room. Better care, better equipment. Mara blinks. You did that? I told you I would. She doesn't know what to say. This man, this cold, controlling man who bought her like property. He's also the man keeping her brother alive. Thank you, she whispers. Armand nods once. Then he walks away. And Mara is left standing in the empty dining room, wondering how she's supposed to feel about any of this. Later that morning, she finds Alexei in the garden. He's sitting on the same stone bench. No cigarette this time. Just a book. Something in Russian. He looks up when she approaches. Same easy smile. The bride returns, he says. Getting bored already? Something like that. Mara sits down next to him. Not too close, but close enough to talk. She needs to be careful here. Armand said Alexei killed Katya, but Armand also lied to her for days. She doesn't know who to trust anymore, so she'll trust no one. Can I ask you something? She says. Anything. How long have you worked for Armand? Alexei laughs. Worked for him? I don't work for him. I'm family. But you're involved in the business? His smile flickers, just for a second. We're all involved in the business. That's how it works. You're born into this family. You stay in this family. What kind of business? The kind you don't ask about. He tilts his head. Why so curious? I'm just trying to understand. Mara keeps her voice light, innocent. This is my life now. I should know what I'm part of. Alexei studies her. His eyes are brown, warm. But there's something behind them, something cold. You want my advice? He says. Don't dig too deep. Some things in this house are buried for a reason. Like what? He stands up. The smile is back, but it doesn't reach his eyes. Like Katya. Mara's blood goes cold. Alexei looks down at her. You know about her, don't you? The first fiancé? The one who looked just like you? I know she died. She did. He shoves his hands in his pockets. And some people think Armand had something to do with it. Did he? Alexei shrugs. Who knows? The man has secrets. Lots of them. Maybe that's why he picked you. Maybe he's trying to replace what he lost. He walks away. Mara sits on the bench, heart racing. Alexei just blamed Armand for Katya's death. But Armand blamed Alexei. One of them is lying. And she needs to find out which one. That afternoon, Mara goes back to the study. The safe is closed, locked. She doesn't try to open it again. Instead, she searches the desk. The drawers are locked, but there's a letter opener in a cup. Thin, metal. She works it into the gap and twists. The drawer slides open. Inside, there are files, stacks of them, names she doesn't recognize, numbers that don't make sense. But at the bottom of the drawer, there's a leather journal. Old, worn. The spine is cracked. She opens it. The handwriting is small, neat, a woman's handwriting. August 15th. He doesn't know I found the files. $2.3 million missing from the accounts. Alexei's name is all over them. I have to tell Armand. But what if he already knows? What if he's protecting him? Mara's hands are shaking. This is Katya's journal. She flips forward. September 2nd. I confronted Alexei today. He smiled. That same smile he always has. He said I was imagining things. He said I should be careful. He said accidents happen. September 10th. I told Armand. He didn't believe me. He said Alexei is family. He said I was paranoid. Maybe I am. But I can't shake the feeling that someone is watching me. September 18th. I found more proof. Bank records, wire transfers. Alexei has been stealing for years. I'm going to the police. I have to, even if Armand won't listen. Asterisk. The entries stop there. Mara checks the date. September 18th. Katya was killed on September 19th, the day after she decided to go to the police. Mara closes the journal. Her whole body is cold. Katya knew. She found out Alexei was stealing. She tried to tell Armand, but he didn't believe her. And the next day she was dead. The note was wrong. Armand didn't kill Katya. But he didn't save her either. Mara hears footsteps in the hallway. She shoves the journal back in the drawer, closes it, turns around. Irina is standing in the doorway. Dinner is in 1 hour, she says. Her voice is flat. Mr. Sokol expects you in the dining room. I'll be there. Irina doesn't leave. She just stands there, watching. You were close to her, Mara says quietly. To Katya. Irina's expression doesn't change, but something moves behind her eyes. She was like a daughter to me. What happened to her? She trusted the wrong people. Who? Irina is silent for a long moment, then she steps closer. Her voice drops to a whisper. Be careful, Mrs. Sokol. This house has ears, and some of them belong to monsters. She turns and walks away. Mara stands alone in the study, heart pounding. Irina knows something. Maybe everyone in this house knows something, and Mara is running out of time to figure out what. Dinner is tense. Armand sits at one end of the table. Mara sits at the other. Alexei is between them, talking too much, laughing too loud. Sergei stands by the door, silent, watching. Mara barely touches her food. She keeps thinking about the journal, about Katya's words, about the fear in her handwriting. Accidents happen. That's what Alexei said to her. He was threatening her, warning her, and the next day she was dead. You're quiet tonight, Alexei says. He's looking at Mara, that smile, that easy, friendly smile. Something on your mind? Just tired, Mara says. You should rest. Big day tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Alexei glances at Armand. You didn't tell her? Armand's jaw tightens. There's a party, business associates. You'll be introduced as my wife. A party? Mara's stomach drops. In front of everyone. You're a Sokol now, Armand says. People need to see that. Alexei raises his glass. To the happy couple. No one drinks. After dinner, Mara goes to her room. She locks the door, pulls out the note. Ask about the ledger? She already knows about the ledger. The $2.3 million. Alexei's name. But there's something else, something she's missing. She thinks about Katya's journal. I told Armand. He didn't believe me. Armand didn't believe her. But now he does. Now he knows Alexei killed her. So why hasn't he done anything about it? Why is Alexei still walking around this house smiling, acting like nothing happened? Unless Armand is waiting for proof, waiting for Alexei to make a mistake. And that's where Mara comes in. She's the bait, but she's also the trigger. Her presence in this house is supposed to make Alexei nervous, make him slip up, make him reveal himself. And if Katya's journal is real, then Mara is holding the proof Armand needs. She looks at the door, at the lock. She thinks about tomorrow, the party, all those people. And she makes a decision. She's not just bait anymore. She's going to help finish this. Around midnight, there's a knock on her door. Soft, quiet. Mara freezes. It's me. Armand's voice. Low, rough. She opens the door. He's standing in the hallway. No jacket. Sleeves rolled up. He looks tired, worn. Can I come in? She steps aside. He walks past her, stops by the window, looks out at the dark garden. You found Katya's journal, he says. Mara's heart stops. How did you? Irina told me. Of course, Irina reports everything. I'm not angry. He turns around. His eyes are tired, sad. I should have shown it to you myself. Mara swallows. She tried to tell you about Alexei, about the money. I know. And you didn't believe her. No. His voice cracks, just barely. I didn't. The weight of those words fills the room. Armand sits down on the edge of the bed. He puts his head in his hands. I grew up with Alexei, he says quietly. He was like a brother to me. When Katya came to me with those accusations, I thought she was jealous, paranoid. I told her to let it go. And she didn't. No, she went to meet someone, a contact at the police department, someone who could help her. And Alexei found out. Armand looks up. His eyes are red. He had her killed. I know that now, but I was too blind to see it then. Mara sits down next to him, not touching, just close. The journal is proof, she says. Her words, the dates. It all lines up. It's not enough. Not for a court. Not for the family. I need him to confess. I need witnesses. The party tomorrow. Armand nods. Everyone will be there. His allies, his enemies. If I can push him, make him crack. You need me. He looks at her. Really looks at her. Yes, he says. I need you. For a long moment, neither of them speaks. Then Mara does something she doesn't expect. She takes his hand. His skin is warm. His fingers are rough. Then let's end this, she says. Armand stares at her. At this woman who should hate him, who has every reason to run. But she's not running. She's fighting. And for the first time in 2 years, he feels something other than grief. He feels hope. The party starts at 8. By 7, the house is full of strangers, men in dark suits, women in expensive dresses, servers carrying trays of champagne and food Mara can't pronounce. Everyone is smiling. Everyone is polite. But underneath the laughter and the music, Mara can feel it. Tension, like the whole house is holding its breath. Irina helps her get ready. The dress is black, simple, elegant. It fits perfectly, which means Armand picked it out. Mara doesn't ask how he knew her size. You look beautiful, Irina says, but her voice is flat, worried. What's wrong? Irina hesitates. She glances at the door. Then she leans close. Be careful tonight, she whispers. Stay close to Mr. Sokol. Don't go anywhere alone. Why? But Irina just shakes her head and walks away. Mara stares at herself in the mirror. Black dress, diamond ring, a dead woman's face. She doesn't recognize herself anymore. The ballroom is massive. Crystal chandeliers, marble, floors, a string quartet playing in the corner. At least 100 people. Maybe more. They all turn when Mara walks in. The whispers start immediately. That's her, the new wife. She looks just like... Mara keeps her head high, keeps walking. Armand is waiting at the bottom of the stairs. He's wearing a black suit, white shirt, no tie. His pale eyes find hers, and for a moment, the room disappears. He holds out his hand. She takes it. His skin is warm. His grip is firm. Ready? He asks quietly. No. Good. Neither am I. He leads her into the crowd. For the next hour, Mara shakes hands and smiles. She meets businessmen, politicians, people whose names she forgets as soon as she hears them. Everyone is polite. Everyone congratulates her on the marriage. But she sees the way they look at her. The confusion, the curiosity, the fear. They know she looks like Katya. They just don't know why. Armand stays close, his hand on her back, his eyes scanning the room. He's watching for something, someone. And then Mara sees him, Alexei. He's standing near the bar, drink in hand. Same easy smile, but his eyes are different tonight. Hard, cold, watching. He raises his glass when he catches her looking. A toast or a threat. Around 9, Mara slips away. She needs air. She needs to think. The hallway outside the ballroom is quiet. Empty. She leans against the wall and closes her eyes. You shouldn't be alone. She spins around. Alexei is standing at the end of the hallway. He's still smiling, but it's different now. Sharper. Just needed a break, Mara says. Her voice is steady, calm. Big night. He walks toward her. Slow. Easy. Must be overwhelming. All these people. All these questions. I'm fine. Are you? He stops a few feet away, tilts his head. You've been busy, haven't you? Searching the study, reading old journals? Mara's heart stops. He knows. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you do? His smile fades. You found Katya's journal. You read what she wrote about me. Don't lie. His voice is cold now, hard. I've been watching you since you got here. I know everything you've done, every room you've searched, every file you've touched. Mara steps back. Her shoulders hit the wall. Armand knows what you did, she says. He knows you killed her. Alexei laughs. It's a hollow sound. Armand knows nothing. He's been chasing shadows for 2 years, looking for proof he'll never find. Katya's journal is the rambling of a paranoid woman. Alexei steps closer. No one will believe it. No one will care. Then why are you so scared? His smile disappears. For a second, she sees it. The real Alexei. The monster behind the mask. I'm not scared, he says quietly. I'm careful. There's a difference. Is that why you killed her? Because she was getting too close? Alexei's jaw tightens. Katya was a problem. She found things she shouldn't have found, asked questions she shouldn't have asked. He shrugs. I did what I had to do. Mara's blood goes cold. He's confessing. Right here. Right now. And what about me? She asks. Am I a problem too? Alexei looks at her. Really looks at her. You were supposed to be bait, he says. A pretty face to make me nervous. But you're smarter than Armand thought. Smarter than Katya was. So, what happens now? He reaches into his jacket. Mara's heart stops, but instead of a gun, he pulls out a phone. Now, he says, you come with me. Quietly. No screaming. No running. Or I make a call, and your brother's hospital room has a very unfortunate accident. Mara can't breathe. Ethan. He's threatening Ethan. You wouldn't. I would. Alexei's voice is ice. I've done worse. Trust me. Mara looks at the phone, at his face, at the hallway behind him. She has no choice. Fine, she whispers. I'll come with you. Alexei smiles. Smart girl. He takes her to the basement. Down, a service staircase, through a locked door, into the garage. It's cold down here. The air smells like oil and concrete. The lights are harsh, white, buzzing. A black SUV is waiting by the door. Get in, Alexei says. Mara walks toward the car, slowly, trying to think. She needs to stall, needs to give Armand time to realize she's gone. Where are we going? She asks. Somewhere quiet. Somewhere we can talk without interruption. And then what? Alexei opens the back door. Then you disappear, just like Katya. Mara's stomach turns. She's out of time. She has to do something, now. She spins around, grabs the car door, swings it as hard as she can. It catches Alexei in the shoulder. He stumbles back. The phone flies out of his hand. Mara runs. She doesn't know where she's going. She just runs. Behind her, she hears Alexei curse, hears his footsteps, fast, angry. You stupid. She rounds a corner, sees another door, pushes through it, and runs straight into Sergei. The big man grabs her arm. His face is hard. Mrs. Sokol, come with me now. Sergei, Alexei, I know. Move. He pulls her down another hallway, another door, another set of stairs. They burst into a different part of the garage. Armand is there. He's holding a gun. There's blood on his sleeve. Get her out of here, he says. His voice is calm, controlled. Armand. Mara starts. Now. Sergei pushes her toward a car, and then the lights go out. Darkness. Complete. Total. Mara can't see anything, can't hear anything except her own breathing. Then, footsteps, fast, coming from everywhere. A gunshot cracks through the air. Mara hits the ground. Her ears are ringing. Her hands scrape against cold concrete. Another shot. Another. Muzzle flashes light up the darkness, quick, bright, like lightning. She sees Armand, moving, firing. She sees Sergei on one knee, blood on his shoulder. And then she sees Alexei. He's standing in the doorway, gun raised, face twisted with rage. She was never supposed to be part of this. He screams. This was between us, Armand. You and me. Armand doesn't flinch. Neither was Katya, he says. His voice is cold, calm. But you killed her anyway. She was going to destroy everything we built. She was innocent? She was in the way. Alexei fires. Mara screams. But Armand is faster. He dives, rolls, comes up firing. The shot hits Alexei in the leg. He goes down. Hard. The gun skids across the floor. Armand walks toward him. Slow. Steady. Alexei is on his back, clutching his leg. Blood pooling on the concrete. You should have run. Armand says, 2 years ago, when you had the chance. You can't kill me, Alexei gasps. I'm family. You stopped being family the day you pulled the trigger. Armand raises the gun. Mara pushes herself up. Armand, wait. He doesn't look at her. He killed Katya. I know. She walks toward him, slowly. And he'll pay for that, but not like this. Why not? Because if you kill him, you're no better than he is. Armand's jaw tightens. His hand is steady. His eyes are cold. But she can see the war inside him. The part that wants revenge, and the part that wants justice. Please, Mara whispers. Let him face what he did. Let everyone know the truth. For a long moment, no one moves. Then Armand lowers the gun. Sergei, he says, take him. Sergei, bleeding but standing, grabs Alexei by the collar and drags him toward the door. Alexei is screaming, cursing, begging, but no one listens, and then he's gone. Mara and Armand stand alone in the garage. The lights flicker back on, harsh, buzzing, blood on the floor, bullet holes in the walls. Mara's hands are shaking. You're hurt, she says. She looks at his arm. The blood. It's not mine. Then whose? One of Alexei's men. He didn't make it. Mara nods. She doesn't ask anything else. Armand looks at her. His eyes are tired, worn. But there's something else there too. Something she hasn't seen before. You could have run, he says quietly. When you had the chance? I know. Why didn't you? She thinks about the question. About Ethan. About the money. About the deal she made. But that's not why she stayed. Because I wanted to see this through, she says. Because Katya deserved the truth. Armand stares at her, and then slowly he reaches out. His hand touches her face. Gently, like she might break. You're not her, he says. I know. But I'm starting to see you. His voice is rough. Just you. Mara doesn't pull away. She looks at this man. This cold, broken man who bought her like property and used her like bait. This man who just chose justice over revenge because she asked him to. She doesn't love him? Not yet. But maybe, someday, she could. What happens now? She asks. Armand drops his hand. Now, he says, we go back upstairs, face the people, tell them the truth. And Alexei? He'll be dealt with. The family will decide. And us? He pauses. For the first time, she sees something like uncertainty in his eyes. That, he says, is up to you. He holds out his hand. Mara looks at it, and she makes a choice. She takes it. The sun rises over the Sokol estate. Pale gold light spills through the library windows. It touches the old books, the marble fireplace, the blood on Armand's sleeve. Mara sits on the leather couch. Her hands are wrapped around a cup of tea she hasn't touched. It went cold an hour ago. She hasn't slept. Neither has Armand. He's standing by the window, watching the grounds. His back is to her, but she can see the tension in his shoulders, the way his hands grip the window frame. The party ended hours ago. The guests are gone. The champagne glasses have been cleared, the music has stopped, but the echoes of what happened still hang in the air. Alexei is in the basement, guarded, waiting. The family council arrives at noon, and everything changes. You should rest, Armand says. He doesn't turn around. I can't. Try. I said I can't. Mara sets down the cup. The sound is too loud in the quiet room. Every time I close my eyes, I see him. The gun. The look on his face. Armand finally turns. He looks tired, older than he did a week ago. There are shadows under his eyes, and the cut on his arm has been bandaged, but blood is still seeping through. He can't hurt you anymore, he says. I know. Then what is it? Mara looks at him. At this man who bought her, used her, put her in danger. This man who also saved her life. I keep thinking about Katya, she says quietly, about what she went through. She knew the truth. She tried to tell you, and no one listened. Armand's jaw tightens. I listened, he says. Too late. Why? He walks toward her, slowly. He sits down in the chair across from her. For a long moment, he doesn't speak. Then he says, because I was a coward. Mara blinks. What? I didn't want to believe it. Alexei was my family, my blood. The idea that he could... Armand shakes his head. I told myself Katya was wrong, that she was seeing things that weren't there. But she wasn't. No. His voice is rough. She wasn't. Silence fills the room. Mara looks at his face, at the pain he's trying to hide. You loved her, she says. Yes. And you blame yourself for her death. He doesn't answer. He doesn't have to. The truth is written all over him. At noon, the family council arrives. 3 men, old, hard-faced. They wear expensive suits and speak in low voices. Mara watches from the doorway as they walk into the study. Armand is with them. So is Sergei, his arm in a sling. And Alexei. He's brought up from the basement, handcuffed, limping. His face is pale, and his eyes are wild. He looks like a trapped animal. The doors close behind them. Mara waits. An hour passes. 2. Irina brings her food. She doesn't eat it. Finally, the doors open. Armand walks out first. His face is stone. Behind him, Sergei drags Alexei toward the back of the house. Alexei is screaming now, begging. Armand, you can't do this. I'm your blood. I'm your family. Armand doesn't look. Back. The screaming fades. Then silence. Mara finds Armand in the library. He's standing by the fireplace, a glass of vodka in his hand. Untouched. What happened? She asks. The council heard his confession. Armand's voice is flat, empty. He admitted everything. The money, the cover-up, Katya. And he's been sentenced. Mara's stomach tightens. To what? Armand sets down the glass. Exile. He'll be sent overseas. Watched, controlled. He'll never step foot in this country again. That's it? After everything he did? Armand turns to look at her. In this world, Mara, death is easy. Living with what you've done, that's harder. She doesn't know if she believes that, but she sees something in his eyes. A weight lifting. Just a little. It's over? She asks. It's over. The house is quiet that night. Mara walks through the empty hallways, past the ballroom, past the study, past the room where everything changed. She ends up in her bedroom. On the bed, there's an envelope. White. Thick. Her name written on the front in Armand's handwriting. She opens it. Inside, there are papers. Legal papers. She reads them slowly. Her hands are shaking. Annulment agreement. Pre-signed by Armand Sokol. All she has to do is add her name, and it's done. The marriage, the deal, all of it. Gone. Mara sits on the bed for a long time. She thinks about the past week, about everything that happened. She thinks about Ethan, Safe now. Getting better. She thinks about the money, the debt, the life she left behind. She thinks about Katya, the woman who looked like her, the woman who died because she knew too much. And she thinks about Armand, the man who bought her, the man who used her, the man who looked at her last night like she was the only real thing in the world. She picks up the papers, and she makes a decision. Armand is in his study when she finds him. He's sitting at his desk. No lights, just the glow of the moon through the window. He looks up when she walks in. His eyes go to the papers in her hand. You read them? He says. Yes. And? Mara walks toward him. Slowly, she stops on the other side of the desk. You signed these before tonight, she says. Before the council. Before Alexei's confession. Yeah. Why? Armand stands up. He walks around the desk until he's standing in front of her. Close, but not touching. Because you deserve a choice, he says quietly. A real one. Not a deal made in desperation. Not a contract signed under pressure. You're letting me go. I'm giving you the option. Mara looks at him. At this man who has lied to her, manipulated her, put her in danger. This man who also kept his word, saved her brother, protected her when it mattered. This man who for the first time is not commanding. He's asking, what do you want? She asks. His jaw tightens. It doesn't matter what I want. It matters to me. Silence. Armand's eyes search her face, like he's looking for something. Permission, maybe. I want you to stay, he says. His voice is rough, barely a whisper. Not because of the deal, not because of Katya, because of you. Why? Because you're brave, because you're smart, because when you had every reason to run, you stayed and fought. He pauses. Because when I look at you now, I don't see her anymore. I see you. Only you. Mara's heart is pounding. She looks down at the papers in her hand. Then she tears them in half. Armand's breath catches. What are you doing? I'm making a choice. She drops the pieces on the desk. I'm staying. Mara. But. She holds up her hand. On my terms. He blinks. What terms? No more secrets. No more lies. You tell me everything. About the business. About the family. About what I'm walking into. Done. I'm not a prisoner. I can come and go as I please. Done. And my brother. He stays in the best hospital, the best doctors, whatever. He needs. He already has that. He always will. Mara nods slowly. There's one more thing, the hardest thing. And us, she says. We start over, from the beginning. No more bought bride, no more bait. We figure out what this is, together. Honestly. Armand is quiet for a long moment. Then he does something she doesn't expect. He smiles. It's small, barely there, but real. You drive a hard bargain, Mrs. Sokol. It's Mara. Mara. He says her name like he's tasting it, like it means something new. Then we have a deal. He holds out his hand, not to command, not to control, just to offer. Mara looks at it, at his scarred knuckles, his bandaged arm, his pale eyes that aren't cold anymore. She takes his hand. His fingers close around hers, warm, strong. So what happens now? She asks. Now, he says, we start over. They stand there for a moment, hand in hand, neither of them moving. Then Mara does something unexpected. She steps closer, not all the way, just enough. She reaches up and touches his face, gently, the stubble on his jaw, the tired lines around his eyes. He goes very still. You don't have to. He starts. I know. She drops her hand. I'm not ready for anything. Not yet. But I wanted you to know that I don't hate you. You should. Maybe. But I don't. Armand looks at her. And for the first time, she sees something in his eyes that isn't cold or controlled. Hope, fragile, new, but real. "Give me time," she says, "and maybe we can figure this out." "I have nothing but time, Mara." His voice is soft. "I've been waiting for 2 years. I can wait a little longer." The sun rises again. Mara stands at the window of her bedroom, her real bedroom now, not a guest room, and watches the light spread across the garden. The house is quiet, peaceful. The ghost is gone. Alexei is gone. And for the first time since she walked into that private booth at Obscura, Mara feels like she can breathe. Her phone buzzes. A text from Ethan's nurse. "He's doing great. Wants to know when you're visiting." She smiles. She types back, "Tomorrow. Tell him I'm bringing books." She sets down the phone. There's a knock at her door. She opens it. Armand is standing there, clean suit, fresh bandage on his arm, 2 cups of coffee in his hands. "Breakfast?" he says. It's not a command. It's an offer. She takes a cup. Breakfast. They walk down the hallway together, side by side, not touching, but close. And as they reach the stairs, Mara looks at him. "One more thing," she says. "What?" "My terms. I forgot one." He raises an eyebrow. "And what's that?" She takes a sip of her coffee. "Next time you buy someone, at least take them to dinner first." Armand stares at her. Then he laughs. It's a real laugh. Deep. Surprised. Like he's forgotten how. "I'll keep that in mind," he says. They walk down the stairs together. Into the morning light. Into whatever comes next. The bought bride came to this house with nothing. A debt. A dead woman's face. A choice that wasn't really a choice. But she's leaving this chapter as something else. A wife, on her own terms. A partner in a world she's only beginning to understand. And maybe someday something more. But that story is just beginning. And Mara Delane, Mara Sokol, is ready to write it herself. If this story hit you in the chest, do me a favor. Subscribe. Like. Comment. Tell me where you're watching from